Hi, welcome once again to the True Rich Club blog. So today's topic will be Stock Market 101, a Pinoy's guide to stock market investing. So today we have a special guest, Mr. J3 Patino. He's the founder of stockmarketforpinoys.com. And in this video, you'll learn about what's the stock market, the different ways you can earn from it, the risks involved, and how you can reduce them, your best protection against market fluctuations, and lastly, how the professionals analyze which stocks to buy and sell. So without further ado, let's head on over to J3.
Hello, Alan. Thanks for having me here and doing this interview.
Why did you start stock market for Pinoys.com in the first place? Why did you choose stock market to be your niche, and why are you promoting it for Filipinos?
Okay. Well, why did I start stock market for Pinoys.com? Kasi nung bata pa ako, I've always idolized sina Robert Kiyosaki. So, they were my idols growing up. So, gusto ko maging personal finance guy, personal finance educator, personal finance advisor. So, when I graduated, parang gusto kong mapunta sa career path na yun eh. Na you teach people, you help people how to save, manage, and invest their money. Ngayon, tinanong ko sarili ko, parang ano ba yung expertise ko? Ano ba yung may experience na ako? And yun yung stock market. So, it's my way of entering the personal finance industry, kumbaga.
Right.
Ganon.
Okay, so now jumping into the stock market naman. The stock market medyo headline siya for the past year siguro, no? Kasi ang taas in-increase. And pero ang dami pa rin taong walang idea about the stock market. Like minsan may nakakausap ako, tinatanong niya is that parang network MLM, yung mga networking. Sabi ko, hindi, ang stock is really you have to you have a share of the business. Pero parang it's such an abstract concept. Kasi normally sa atin it's either salary or may profit ka from buy and sell. Pero ang stock parang ang abstract kasi hindi mo nakikita eh. So
Yes.
tell us what the stock market is about and how do people normally profit from it?
Okay. So, first thing is, define natin yung stock market. So, two words, stock and market.
Right.
So, what is a stock? Ang stock ay ownership of a business. So, for example, kung magtayo ka ng isang business and you are the sole owner, meron ka ngayon one share of your business and yung share na yun is nasa iyo. Now, there are huge corporations out there like sina Jollibee, sina PLDT, na marami ng owners. And the way they keep track kung who owns what, kaninong percent ang na kanino, ilang percent ang dyan, is through the shares. So, yung number of shares na ari ni ganito and ni ganyan.
Right.
So, yun ang stock. Now,
Okay.
market is basically bentahan at bilihan. So, a stock market is a place where you buy and sell shares of companies, of large companies. Okay?
Okay.
Now, how do you, yung next question is, how you profit and earn,
Yes.
di ba?
Yes.
Ayan. Okay, so, what you're buying into the stock market, in stocks, is a business. Okay? So, you earn in the same way kung paano kumikita ang business owners.
Right.
Okay? And the first way is through dividends.
Right.
Okay? Or dividends. Kapag may business na kumikita ng pera, yung gagawin ng business niya, magde-declare siya ng dividends to share the earnings to the owners.
Right.
Okay? So, hindi mo sinisweldohan yung owners eh. You give them dividends.
Right.
Instead of a salary, you give a dividend. Kapag ganun mag-payback sa owners, sa mga shareholders through dividends. Okay? So, that's the first way. The second way is through capital appreciation. Okay? And the way that this works is, let's say the business is now worth 100,000 pesos. Kunwari, it's a small business, 100,000 pesos. Habang lumalaki at lumalaki siya, the business also grows. So, for example, yung 100,000 after 5 years, naging times 5 na yung business. So
Right.
yung value ng ownership niya, the value of owning the business, lumalaki na rin siya.
Siyempre, ang narinig naman ng mga tao ngayon, ang stock market, risk yan. Siyempre, one of the reasons is abstract na, ang hirap imagine. So, yung iba, makikita ang news, mas taas ang stocks, minsan ibang araw sa baba. So, ano ba ang risk na kasama sa pag-invest sa stock market?
Okay. So, pag-invest sa stock market, yes, it's very, very risky. So, hindi ko i-deny yun na walang risk kasi meron talaga. Now, two forms of risk in the stock market. Okay? The first form of risk is, I'll call it inherent risk or parang unpreventable risks. So, ito yung hindi mo mapipigilan, yung pag-akyat at pagbaba ng shares. Okay? Now, think of it as just like driving.
Okay.
Kumaneho ng kotse. Okay, pag nagda-drive ka ng kotse, may mga risks din dyan na malay mo ba kung lasing pala yung nasa likod mo, yung kotse, umulan, bumagyo, mas taka ngayon sa baha, yun yung risk. So, inherent sila, hindi mo mapipigilan. Now, there's also another form of risk and actually, dito ako mas natatakot. And this is called the risk due to ignorance.
Okay.
Ignorance or basically dahil hindi mo alam. Okay? Now, ganun din i-compare ulit natin siya sa driving. Okay? First, kung hindi ka nag-training kung paano mag-drive, then, delikado kang driver. Kasi hindi mo alam kung ano ba yung rules, kung hindi mo naiintindihan yung signals, then, kumbaga, parang delikado kang driver. You're being a risky driver. It's the exact same thing kapag nag-invest ka sa stock market. Meron rules to follow, may guidelines to follow, may strategies dyan na mag-guide sa'yo kung paano mo ba mapiprevent yung pagkalugi in the stock market.
Tama.
Ganun.
Parang lumalabas, inherent and ignorance, ang difference nila is your level of control. So sa inherent, wala kang control Ang market talaga, risky. So, ang ignorance naman, that's something you could do something about. So, pwede ka mag-aral, consult, and talk to people who like you, who are very knowledgeable in the topic. So, at least, either way, may risk talaga siya, but you do reduce it by increasing your knowledge about the topic.
Yes, oo. Ganon.
So, sabihin natin, someone is very interested in investing in the stock market. Pero, ang nakakatakot dyan is, syempre, pag bumagsak, tapos kailangan mo ng pera, syempre, malulugi ka kaagad nun. So, what do people need? Kung ako beginner, wala pa akong shares, wala pa akong investment sa stocks. What, in terms of my money, kung sabihin natin may 100,000 ako and kumikita ako 20,000 a month, ano ba yung dapat, saan ko ialat yung pera at ano lang yung dapat na amount na ipapasok ko sa stock market para hindi ako mabaliw sa kada akit at baba ng stock market?
Okay. Basically, ang stock market is seen as a long-term investment. Long-term meaning 10 years and above.
Right.
Okay? The longer time frame you have, the better. Bakit? Kasi ang stock market, aakyat, bababa. Aakyat, bababa. Aakyat, bababa. Aakyat, bababa. So, in the long run, paakyat pa rin naman siya. Pero, it's going to be a very rough ride. So, example lang, itong January, mataas yung stock market. Pagdating na itong July, August, June, ano na ba ngayon? July. July, bagsak ng malaking percent. So, it's going to be a rough ride. And ang pinaka-protection mo from that risk, is yung time frame mo. If you can keep the money in the stock market for a long period of time, hindi ka malulugi. Parang aantayin mo siyang umakyat ulit.
Right.
So, as a long-term investment, yun ang ganun mag-mitigate ng risk sa stock market. Now, going back to your question na ano yung allocation?
Right.
Tama.
Anong allocation?
Okay, so yung money na lalagay mo sa stock market is money that you will use maybe 10 years from now. Kasing hindi siya immediate need dapat. So hindi yung pera na kailangan mo next year. Hindi ito yung pera na kailangan mo next month or not even yung 2 years from now. Dapat tayo pa talaga yung horizon mo para makapag-sustain ka nung aakyat, bababa. And
so, J3, sometimes kasi pag ganyan ka long term, no, it's sometimes hard for people to gauge ano ba yung kakailanganin kasi madaming unpredictable factors. So, would you suggest that people first set aside maybe mga 3 months worth of salary, then once maka-set up na sila nun, then maybe a percentage of their income, sabi natin, a certain percentage of their pay during payday, pwede nila alat sa stock market investing?
Yes. So, yung pinaka-basic actually is you learn how to save and you set up that emergency fund yung 3 months to 6 months para kapag bumaba yung investment mo, hindi ka naman mapapraning, hindi ka na umalis sa stock market. So, you have this buffer fund para in case kailanganin mo ng pera, in case bigla kang matanggalan ng trabaho na sana hindi naman, or may aksidente, may kailangan na repair, manakawan, madaming accidents na pwedeng mangyari. You rely on the emergency fund para ka ngayon kukuha ng pera.
Right. Okay, sige. That's a good way to put it. And sabihin natin, nakatabi ka ng pera, ready ka na maglagay ng money sa stock market. Kahit maliit lang, hindi naman kailangan malaki. So, siyempre sa stock market, ang daming stocks yan. Ang daming companies na nakalista. So, how do you decide which one to buy and what kind of analysis do you normally do?
Okay. Professionals, they use 2 approaches to determine kung ano ba ang bibilhin at kailan ba magbebenta, anong presyo, and so on. Okay? Now, take note, this is how professionals do it. Meaning, ito yung mga tao na buong araw nasa stock market. Ito yung mga taong doing the stock market for a living. So, it's going to be a bit complicated. Okay? So, first approach that they do is called fundamental analysis. Okay? So, fundamental analysis, this is looking into the intrinsic value of the business. Meaning, evaluate mo talaga yung gaano ba kaganda ang business na ito. So, for example, one stock that we're looking at is, sabihin natin, Jollibee. Okay? So, yung fundamental approach, titingnan mo ngayon, gaano ba kalakas ang kita ni Jollibee? Gaano ba siya kagaling mag-adapt to changes? Gaano ba siya ka-apektado ng mga fluctuations in the world market, sa industry, sa mga government policies. So, yung mga you're going to think like a businessman and evaluate maganda ba tong business na ito. So, you look at financial statements, check earnings, so bubusisiin mo 'yon. Ganon. So, that's fundamental analysis. The second approach is called technical analysis, and this is done by reviewing the price of the stock itself. So, yung prices kasi sa stock market akyat, bumababa, yung sa side. Kumbaga may magulo siya. Okay? And by looking at the chart, you can derive some patterns na masasabi mo na, uy, ito posible na itong tumaas ng malaki. So, yun ka ngayon bibili. Just by looking at the chart alone. So, yung mga ganong class of analysis na look at the chart and you review the indicators, yun yung technical analysis.
Time out. Did you enjoy that? Well, I sure hope you did. Anyway, that's just the first part of my interview with J3. Watch out for the next video entitled How to Realistically Earn 1 Million Pesos in Less than 10 Years While Working in Pinas. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the comment section below and we'll get to them as soon as we can. If you want to see the next video, just click on the link below and we'll send you over there. Lastly, subscribe to the True Rich blog to get the latest updates, including this interview with J3. And you know what, you'll get a special preview for doing so. So catch you in the next video.